Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Nashville Stars franchise. We are sitting here in season number 2, about 22 games into the season, and we've seen some good signs from a couple of guys, including Troy Quincy we saw last episode. He is definitely a guy that we definitely think we can build this organization around in our rotation. I think right now he is the most promising starter, just looking at everybody in our rotation. David Price had a rough debut, and I don't think he's going to do well this year. So I kind of want to not cut my losses, but at least, mitigate the losses. And I think that David Price is right now not a good option in our rotation. So I'm looking at other options in free agency. Johnny Cueto's there. Adam Wainwright is still in free agency at 41 years old. What a career that Adam Wainwright has had. Is Adam Wainwright a Hall of Famer? I mean, the guy has literally pitched for 2 decades for the Cardinals, it seems like. So we will move David Price down to the AAA level, and he will get, looks there. If we need to move him back up, we will do that, but I just think that right now Brett Anderson is just a better option. We are paying him $2.8 million, about $1.8 million more than what we're paying David Price. So we might as well move him up, get his innings, and both of them, Anderson and Price, will kind of be mentors to Troy Quincy, all three of them being lefties. Now, one player that's really struggling out the gate is Miguel Rojas, hitting 194. He's on the last year of his contract. He will be a free agent next year, so there's a chance we could move on from him. I'm not sure if we will, but I at least want to be competitive. This is a rebuild. We are going from scratch here, so I definitely want to rebuild this team as a whole. So if moving on from him is the move, then we will do it, but only if we need to do it. We do have a couple of options backing him up, including Jimmy Sandoval, who is a prospect of ours we drafted in Season 1's draft. But let's just check out Rojas here at the MLB level before making any rash decisions. We face the 13-9 Tampa Rays in this game, and here's John Dumont leading off the game. He hits one well to right field. That one gets to the wall. This is what I imagine with John Dumont being such a good base hitter, just getting on base and hitting possibly for power when it comes to the alleys, but I think this is where he shines right here, getting on base and scoring. Up comes Shea Whitcomb. He hits one well to left field. This one's got carry, but that one will be caught. And that's a Rosarena playing in left. He comes up throwing to third base, but now we have a man on third with 1 out. Just need a bat on the ball here as Abdul Herrera comes up to the plate, and he gets more than just the bat on the ball. That's gone. Abdul Herrera came over in free agency. He was a Silver Slugger last year. He was an All-Star last year, and he makes it a 2-0 game here in the first inning. Absolutely crushed. 448 off of the bat, 112 exit velo. Dominic Smith to the plate, hitting over 300. One of those surprise guys to start this year. A low cutter, and the Kluber gets the call on that one low. And we get 2 runs in the first. Here is Rojas at the plate, who has been struggling, like we highlighted earlier. For his first at-bat, he will just ground out to third. Now, I don't know what we could get for Miguel Rojas, but he would probably kind of get a good return because he is a veteran, a good bat, a very good bat, to be honest with you, just struggling with us. Here he gets a high fastball, 97 in the zone, and that one's going to be popped up in the infield. And I just think that we need to work with him just a little bit more, see exactly if we're going to compete, because if we're going to compete, I still want to keep Rojas around, even though he's struggling, still a very good bat. And here with his 4th at-bat, ground ball up the middle, but a good play by the shortstop, thrown on to first. And an 0-for-4 day for Rojas, not looking good. But I think we have, some interesting things coming up here in this season, especially approaching the draft and the trade deadline. And we will see kind of the preview of some of the draft prospects later in this episode, but kind of a weaker draft. So if we can acquire prospects via trade, that would probably be the best move. Now, we look to AAA to check out Jimmy Sandoval, who we drafted in the 3rd round in season number 1's draft. And he is a guy that is pretty good, 73 overall, hitting 300 so far to start the season. But how about our AAA affiliate? We have so many of our prospects here. We have Jimmy Sandoval. He's not the only one. Looking at Kendrick Franklin Cole, he is amazing as well. Tyson King, one of the guys that I thought would make the MLB roster, but he kind of struggled in spring, so I didn't want to rush to bring him up. Kerry Doss right now is the top prospect in our organization as a first baseman. He is one of the few A potential guys we have. And then Colin Ozuna, who was one of those guys that had the reduction in potential because of his performance last year, but he's still actually doing really, really well. And then Brian Lacker, a guy that is a catcher in our organization that hitting over 300. I mean, we have some decent prospects, and obviously they're not going to be ready for the show probably this year or even next year, but give us 2 years. I think a lot of these guys will show what they can do. We're playing this game at the Sandlot. I thought this would be fun to kind of play in a one of the custom created stadiums in the vault. And here we are at the Sandlot with our Norfolk Tide. Here is Kerry Doss, the top prospect in our organization. He hits one well to center field. This one's got lift to it, but run down by the center fielder. One thing I like about Kerry Doss, along with Kendrick Franklin Cole, who might be my favorite hitter in the organization, these guys hit the ball hard every time they make contact. Here is a late swing, though. Pop up in foul territory, and the right fielder runs that one down, and they will get out of the first inning with no damage done. Tyson King to the plate. He was the guy in spring training we were definitely looking at maybe being the starting third baseman, but he grounds out to third base. He is struggling so far in AAA. If he continues to struggle, I might even move him down to AA. We'll have to see. Eli White, one of the veteran outfielders in our organization. He was at the MLB level last year. He hits one deep. This is gone. Off with the batter's eye in center field. And Eli White is a 98 speed outfielder too. So if I need a replacement outfielder for some of the guys we have at the MLB level now, he's definitely one of those top candidates. Colin Ozuna is also one of those candidates. He has excellent speed, has great contact, and he shows right there with the double down the right field line. He's the guy to watch out for moving up in the next couple of episodes. Brian Lacker hitting over 300, our top catching prospect. He hits one to center field, and that one will be an easy fly ball. Still 1-0. Jimmy Sandoval up for his second at-bat of the game now. Outside fastball. That one will be popped up to center field. What I kind of want to see from him is consistency at the plate. And I'm not sure if he is ready for the show just yet. I mean, he's not a high potential guy anyway. But I think that, you know, his ratings are actually pretty decent as far as his hitting goes. His fielding, not so much. As here's Kendrick Franklin Cole here for his second at-bat, hitting in the 3 spot. Leading our organization, I believe, in average. He just hits the ball well. He hits one to right field this time. Off of the wall. The right fielder fields it cleanly, though, and look at this throw. Right on the money. It will get Kendrick Franklin Cole, KFC, and that will nail him at second base. Tyson King up now in the 4 hole. A perfect, but right at the center fielder, and that will be snagged. On to the 5th inning. Here's Eli White back for his second at-bat. He homered earlier in the game, and he will do it again. Into the yard of Hercules. That's his ball now. It's a home run. And how about these 2 home runs by Eli White? I didn't see this power from him last year at the MLB level. Colin Ozuna comes up next. He shows off the power as well. That's gone. One of the guys I'm, like I said, thinking about moving up is Colin Ozuna. He's got a really good bat. He disappointed last year, but off to a hot start this year. I think that reduction in potential has definitely motivated him. Up comes the next batter. This is Brian Lacker. Could we make it 3 in a row? We do. Not quite in Hercules' yard, but over the wall nonetheless. Back to back to back. Jacks here for the Tide. And we do our thing here at the AAA level. Here's Kendrick Franklin Cole up one more time. He hits one well to left field. This one's got carry, and it's caught at the wall, but he is such a good hitter. You can just see, like, the way the ball pops off of his bat. Right now, he is sitting here at 73 overall. He is one of my favorite prospects. if I had to kind of rank them, which I will in the next couple of episodes, I'm going to rank him pretty high. He could be the number 2 prospect just based off of his bat. I think he's got big time potential with it. And we end up winning this game 4-0 here. Pablo Moya, who was our pitcher of the league in the minor leagues last year, he gets player of the game for us. So Kendrick Franklin Cole sitting here at 72. I thought it was 73. It's 72 overall, 317. I just want to take a closer look at him, and I kind of want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Every time he hits the ball, it kind of just jumps off of his bat. He always has good timing swings. Here's a hit to right field. I mean, just his solid contact is enough alone. I think this is a guy we should consider here closer to the All-Star break, moving up to the MLB. The only thing with having this good of a bat is that I just do not want to ruin his potential with this bat. Maybe I leave him down for a whole nother year, let him marinate in the minors, get to where he can get at a maximum level, getting ready for the show. He's only 23 years old, so this is a guy that we can definitely build around, and he is just, like I said, one of those guys that just hits the ball hard every single time. Here's a pitch right down the middle. He barely misses this one, though, just to fly out to center field. But leading our AAA affiliate, I believe, in average, he's a guy we should definitely consider. So back to the MLB level, and we are starting out the month of May pretty slow, losing a bunch of games here in the first couple of weeks. But here we find ourselves in a critical situation versus the Texas Rangers. But here is the issue. Our hitting is terrible. We are 30th in on-base percentage, 30th in runs. Incredible. Like, our team is doing bad right now. Our pitching, not so bad. We're actually in the middle of the pack. But our offense, doing terrible. We need to see what the issue is. We already saw Miguel Rojas and seeing how he was struggling. But I think now that we see how much we're struggling, maybe moving up KFC is a move we should make, because he would definitely improve the offense. But we'll see. I need to evaluate this roster just a little bit more. Dominic Smith up to the plate now. He hits one well, and the crowd is loud here with that hit. Not a sold-out crowd. The Nashville crowd is not filling in because our team is not doing well at this point. But a hit to left center gives us a little life here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dominic Smith hit terribly in spring, now hitting pretty well in the Rios thing in the regular season, as that brings up the next batter to fly out to center field. 2 outs. Miguel Rojas with a chance to be the hero in the bottom of the 9th. This one is just a ground out to second. And this one's going to extras as Texas comes into our house. And here comes Rojas again up in the 12th. Can he be the hero today? This is a wild pitch. And that one will get to the backstop. And now we have runners on second and third. No outs. If we blow this, we are terrible. Somebody's getting fired. Here's a hit to the left side. This is Rojas with the line shot, but the third baseman tries to tag out. I believe that is, I don't know who that is on third base. It's not Dominic. Oh, that was Monty Harrison on third. He got back to the bag. Oscar Mercado, he hits a ground ball to second. But look at Simeon. He tags out the runner instead of going home with it. Wow, just a lapse in awareness right there. And we end up winning this game. Just a weird way to end the game. Bases loaded, no outs. Ground ball in the infield. Should have been a double play. Throwing home and then going to first with it. It was a hard hit ball too. And somehow we win. Wow. We start out April and pretty well, going 11-11. After that, we kind of go 500. But then we get into the month of May and just start absolutely stinking it up. We lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight before winning versus Seattle 7-2. And then we kind of lose 2 of 3 from Seattle. And now here we are in the middle of the month of May. I mean, this team is doing absolutely terrible. And we are in a rebuilding phase. That's like no surprise that we are not obviously winning a bunch of games. But like this, terrible. We hop into this Oakland A's matchup in the bottom of the 10th inning. Here is Shea Wickham at the plate. He hits one well down the third baseline. That one will score. Herrera from second. And we will get the win in this one. I guess that was Robles from second, not Herrera. But I think Shea Whitcomb is not the issue. Shea Whitcomb is a guy that I traded for in the offseason. We got him from Houston. He's a guy that I really, really like. But who is the problem? We move on to the bottom of the ninth here in this scenario versus the Minnesota Twins. Here is Yasmiro Petit on the mound, facing Ketel Marte, who signed a big contract in the offseason. He hits one well to right field, and they will walk this one off. Minnesota gets a big-time win in this one at Target Field. So we walk one off, and then in the next series, the Twins walk one off. So we just need to find some type of consistency here with our organization. And I'm not really sure what the next move is. I mean, there's a lot of good prospects out there, but prospects do take development time. We hop into the next series now, facing the Toronto Blue Jays. A 2-0 game here in the top of the 8th. This is Bo Bichette at the plate, and he hits one well to right field. That's gone. It's a 2-2 ball game just like that, and Toronto ties this game up, and Kohei Arihara was on the mound that time. And now we move on to the bottom of the ninth. Here is Josh Fuentes at the plate. He can't be the hero. Another extra inning game. These extra inning games wear on you. We definitely get tired. On to the 10th inning. Herrera strikes out swinging. On to the 11th. Shea Whitcomb, who had the walk-off earlier. This is just a fly ball to shallow right field. And we're going to the 12th inning. On to the 12th inning. This is going to bring up Abdul Herrera, who is 0 for 5. I mean, this is a silver slugger a year ago. He needs to come through. Low pitch, hit hard to third base. It's fielded kind of messy, but a throw on to second, and Mercado's just going to keep running, and what a way to win this game. A throwing error from the third baseman. Mercado just does not stop running, and we get the walk-off win. But Herrera in this game goes 0 for 6. That is alarming. We signed him to a 2-year, $12 million deal. Even though this was technically a walk-off, it was an error. Make no mistake about it. We win that one 5-4, but you can just see in the next couple of weeks, we just kind of go up and down. We get swept by Minnesota. We win win 3 of 4 versus Toronto. And now we find ourselves at the end of the month of May, heading into the draft episode with kind of a big cloud over this team. We are dead last in the AL East. We are 9.5 games back. We just don't do well. We just don't. Like, we're not doing well at all. Our average is 227. Just think about that. 227. That ranks us 28th in the MLB. Only the Nationals and A's are below us. And then looking at RBIs, we are 27th. On base percentage, only the Kansas City Royals are below us. I mean, this is just not pretty. Like I said, Shea Whitcomb is not the issue. Dominic Smith is surprising us this year. I thought that he was going to struggle, especially since he struggled in the spring. Oscar Mercado is interesting. You know, it's just last year I went to the trade deadline, and I was going to trade either Mercado or Tyrone Taylor. I traded Tyrone Taylor. Mercado remained, but he's just not making a huge difference. So there is a chance we could move on from Mercado. John Dumont so far is not doing as great as what I thought. I need that on base percentage a bit higher because he is a leadoff hitter. I definitely need to see that higher. Abdul Herrera hitting 236, down from 286 last year, I should say. And then Victor Robles, who hit 263 last year, is down to 235. Our whole team is kind of just struggling. Jorge Alfaro, our lone all-star, hit 230, is hitting 230 this year. Miguel Rojas, the average is up to 227, so that's respectable that he, kind of found a better path to the baseball. Nottingham hitting 220. Ryan Mountcastle, our highest paid guy in our organization, hitting 202. He's locked up for the next 4 years. But how about Tramel, Fuentes, and Harrison all hitting below 200? We do get a trade offer here at the end of this episode, and it looks like Victor Mesa Jr. is offered from the Marlins. He's an interesting player. He does have an older brother, Victor Mesa, and Victor Mesa Jr. is actually not bad. You look at these attributes, These are pretty good attributes. He's hitting about 300 at the AAA level as well. And then there's Miguel Rojas. You know, the Marlins did ask for Rojas last year. He does play for them in real life. Here's the offer we got last year for Rojas at about this time, actually. They wanted to trade Roman Quinn. So they wanted to trade an outfielder for Rojas, and I like the outfielder they just offered us with Victor Mesa Jr. And I look at why they would kind of want Rojas, because I want to make realistic moves, and it's because they have Khalil Watson here, just not ready for the MLB. He was thrusted into this role. So was Jose Devers, just not ready. Rojas just makes sense for them. I think I just saw that Watson was hitting like 199, 200. I mean, that's just not cutting it. Rojas is definitely a mentor for them, just like he is for us, to be honest with you. So they are a team rebuilding. We'll have to see what happens next episode. If we make that trade, I'm not sure. So the MLB draft is, like I said, a very weak class. You can just see it right here. I just don't see a lot of guys that are going to be ready for the MLB at this moment, or at least in the next 1 or 2 years that are going to be good. It's just a very weak class. So I am very inept to trade for prospects now in season 2. And seeing the way the season's going, we might have to completely tear this down to the studs. I don't know where we go from here. We just signed Ryan Mountcastle to a 4-year, $40 million deal. He's going to be here. But who else? I look at the top prospects. There are some interesting guys here we could go after. But it would take one of our best players to acquire some of these guys, to be realistic here. That's definitely what I want to do. So let me know down in the comment section if there is a guy that I should go after in trades. And going into the draft episode, I don't know how I feel. This is a weak draft, so we have to at least draft well. We probably have a top 6 pick as well, so we'll see. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tinted. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, this how we ride.